Part 1. Stop chasing. Start valuing yourself. Let's start with a harsh truth. You've been giving away your power. You've been chasing after people who don't see your worth, who don't value what you bring to the table. And it's exhausting, isn't it? Pouring your energy, your time, and your heart into someone who barely notices. But here's the thing. What if I told you that you have the power to flip the script? That you have the ability to take back control, to stop chasing, and to start valuing yourself more than ever before? The first step to reclaiming your power is to stop the chase. Stop running after people who only give you the bare minimum, who treat you like an option. You deserve more than that. You deserve to be cherished, respected, and valued, not just tolerated. But the truth is, people won't appreciate you if you're always there, always available, always ready to bend over backwards for them. The harsh reality is, people take for granted what comes too easily. It's human nature to desire what is scarce, to chase what feels unattainable. So let's shift the focus. Instead of chasing after others, let's talk about chasing after something far more important. Your own growth, your own peace, your own happiness. The moment you stop seeking validation from others, the moment you stop being so available, you begin to change the game. You shift the power dynamic in your favor. This is where the power of detachment comes in. Detachment is not about being cold or indifferent. It's about protecting your peace. It's about valuing yourself enough to walk away from what no longer serves you. Detachment is the art of letting go, of understanding that you don't need anyone else to complete you. You are already whole, already enough, just as you are. Imagine this. What if you started focusing all that energy you've been pouring into others and redirected it back to yourself? What if, instead of trying to earn someone else's love, you focused on loving yourself first? The moment you do this, everything changes. You begin to see your worth. You begin to see that you are more than enough. And guess what? The moment you stop chasing after others, that's when they start chasing after you. This isn't just about romantic relationships. This is about every area of your life. Friends, family, colleagues, everyone. When you stop being so readily available, when you stop giving your energy away for free, people start to notice. They start to see the value in your presence. They start to miss the things they took for granted. But here's the catch. By the time they realize what they've lost, you'll have already moved on to bigger and better things. So, let's make a pact. From this moment forward, you are going to reclaim your power. You are going to stop being the one who chases, the one who overgives, the one who's always there at the drop of a hat. You're going to start valuing yourself more, setting boundaries, and prioritizing your own peace. Because the truth is, if you don't value yourself, no one else will. You teach people how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. Start practicing detachment. It's not about being cruel or cutting people off for the sake of it. It's about protecting your energy, your peace, your heart. It's about knowing that you are enough, that you don't need to prove your worth to anyone. The moment you let go of the need for validation from others, you gain something far more powerful, self-respect. And self-respect is the foundation of everything. When you respect yourself, others will follow suit. They will start to see you in a new light. They will start to value your time, your energy, your presence, because you've shown them that you are not someone to be taken for granted. You are not someone to be used and discarded. You are someone of value, someone worthy of respect, someone who knows their worth. So from today, I want you to start moving differently. I want you to start valuing yourself more. I want you to start practicing detachment. Stop chasing people who don't appreciate you. Stop giving your energy away to those who don't deserve it. And most importantly, start focusing on you, on your growth, on your happiness, on your peace. Because at the end of the day, you are the hero of your own story. It's time to start acting like it. This is your wake-up call. It's time to stop the chase and start valuing yourself. It's time to step into your power, to reclaim your peace, and to start living life on your own terms. No more chasing, no more begging for scraps of attention. From this moment on, You're going to protect your energy, set boundaries, and let your absence speak louder than words. And remember, you are enough. You've always been enough. Now, it's time to start believing it. Part 2. Reclaiming your peace through detachment. Let's dive deeper into this idea of detachment. You see, we've been conditioned to believe that being constantly available, always putting others first, is a sign of love and loyalty. But what if I told you that it's actually a recipe for burnout? A recipe for losing yourself in the process of trying to be everything for everyone else. It's time to break that cycle. It's time to prioritize something that's often overlooked: your peace. Detachment isn't about shutting people out or becoming emotionally unavailable. No, it's about setting boundaries that protect your well-being. It's about recognizing that your time and energy are precious resources, not something to be given away freely to those who don't appreciate it. Detachment is your power. It's your way of saying, I value my peace over pleasing others. Think about it. How many times have you bent over backwards for people who wouldn't even lift a finger for you? How many times have you put yourself last just to make someone else happy, only to be met with indifference? This is your wake-up call to stop that cycle, to stop sacrificing your well-being for the sake of others who don't reciprocate. It's time to reclaim your energy and protect your peace. One of the core principles of Stoic philosophy is understanding what's within your control and what's not. You can't control how others treat you, but you can control how you respond. You can control how much access you give them to your life, your time, your heart. The moment you start setting boundaries, the moment you start saying no to what drains you, is the moment you start reclaiming your power. You might be wondering, but what if I push people away? Here's the reality. The right people, the ones who truly value and respect you, won't be pushed away by your boundaries. In fact, they'll appreciate you more for having them. Boundaries aren't barriers. They are filters. They filter out those who are only there to take advantage of your kindness, leaving space for those who truly deserve your presence. When you practice detachment, you're not distancing yourself from love or connection. You're distancing yourself from the chaos, from the drama, from the people who drain your energy. You're choosing to invest in yourself. And the beauty of it is, the moment you pull back, the moment you become less available, people start to notice. They start to realize what they've been taking for granted. They start to miss your presence. There's a certain power in silence, in pulling back, in not always being the one to reach out, to initiate, to make the effort. When you pull back, you create space for others to step up. You give them the opportunity to show you whether they're willing to put in the effort, whether they value you enough to chase after you for a change. But here's the thing. You're not doing this to manipulate or play games. You're doing this because you deserve to be valued, respected, and appreciated. You're doing this because you're tired of being taken for granted. You're doing this because you're ready to prioritize yourself for once. You're ready to reclaim your peace, your time, your energy. Detachment is about letting go of the need for validation from others. It's about being content with your own company, finding joy in your own journey, and realizing that you are enough on your own. The moment you stop needing others to validate you, the moment you stop seeking approval from people who don't even value you, you set yourself free. You free yourself from the chains of people-pleasing, from the constant need for external validation. Imagine how powerful you'd be if you stopped letting others dictate your worth. If you stopped letting their actions, or lack thereof, determine how you feel about yourself. Imagine waking up every day knowing that you are enough, that you don't need anyone else's approval to feel good about yourself. That's the kind of freedom detachment offers. But it's not easy, is it? Detachment takes practice, it takes courage, it takes a deep, unshakable belief in your own worth. And it's a journey, one that starts with a single step. The step of choosing yourself. The step of saying, I am enough, and I deserve to protect my peace. So today, I challenge you to take that step. to start practicing detachment, to start setting boundaries, to start valuing yourself more, and most importantly, to start letting go of the need to be everything for everyone. It's time to reclaim your power, to protect your peace, and to embrace the freedom that comes with detachment. Remember, you are not defined by how others treat you. You are defined by how you treat yourself. And the moment you start treating yourself with the love, respect, and value you deserve, the world will follow suit. Your peace is priceless. Protect it. Your energy is valuable. Guard it. And above all, know your worth. Because once you do, no one can take it away from you. Part 3. The power of boundaries, redefining your relationships. Let's talk about something that's often misunderstood but incredibly powerful: boundaries. The word itself might sound harsh, like a wall that separates you from others. But in reality, boundaries are not walls, they are bridges to healthier relationships. They are your way of saying, I value myself enough to protect my time, my energy, and my peace. You see, we often think that to be loved, we need to be available all the time. We think we have to say yes to every request, to be there for everyone, to constantly prove our worth. But here's the truth. Overextending yourself doesn't earn you love or respect. In fact, it often leads to the opposite. People begin to take you for granted. They start to see you as someone who's always there, someone they don't need to appreciate because you're always giving. It's time to change that narrative. Setting boundaries is an act of self-love. It's a way of showing yourself and others that your well-being matters. It's not about pushing people away or shutting them out. It's about creating a space where you can thrive, where you can feel safe, where you can be your best self. And here's the beauty of it. When you start setting boundaries, you attract people who respect them. You attract people who value you for who you are, not just for what you can give. Think about the relationships in your life. How many of them are draining you? How many of them leave you feeling exhausted, unappreciated, or taken for granted? Now, imagine if you could change that. Imagine if you could set boundaries that protect your energy, that prioritize your peace. What would that look like? How would that feel? Boundaries are not about being selfish. They are about being self-aware. They are about recognizing what you need to feel happy, healthy, and whole. And they are about having the courage to communicate those needs to others. Yes, it can be uncomfortable. Yes, it might upset some people. But the ones who truly care about you will respect your boundaries. They will understand that your no is not a rejection of them, but a protection of yourself. Here's a truth that's hard to swallow. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves your time, your energy, your love. You are not obligated to give yourself to everyone who asks. You have the right to be selective about who gets a seat at your table, who gets a place in your life. And that's not being harsh. That's being wise. The more you start valuing yourself, the more you will see the need for boundaries. You will realize that you are worthy of respect, that you deserve to be treated with kindness, that your time is precious, and you will stop allowing people to treat you as an option, as a backup plan, as someone they can call only when it's convenient for them. But here's the thing, setting boundaries isn't just about saying no to others. It's also about saying yes to yourself, yes to your peace, yes to your happiness, yes to your well-being. It's about choosing yourself over and over again, even when it's hard, even when it means disappointing others. Because at the end of the day, you are the one who has to live with yourself. You are the one who has to carry the weight of your choices, your sacrifices, your compromises. So let's make a commitment today. Let's commit to setting boundaries that protect our peace, that prioritize our well-being, that honor our worth. Let's commit to choosing ourselves, not in a selfish way, but in a way that allows us to be the best version of ourselves for those who truly matter. And remember this, boundaries don't push the right people away, they push the wrong people away. They create space for those who respect and appreciate you, for those who understand that your no is just as valuable as your yes. They create a foundation for relationships that are built on mutual respect, not convenience. They shift the dynamic in your favor, allowing you to take back control of your life, your energy, your heart. It's time to stop being afraid of setting boundaries. It's time to stop feeling guilty for choosing yourself. It's time to start protecting your peace, prioritizing your well-being, and embracing your worth. Because when you do, something incredible happens. You begin to attract people who see your value, who appreciate your presence, who respect your time. You begin to attract the kind of love, the kind of respect, the kind of relationships that you truly deserve. So, today, let's take the first step towards reclaiming our power. Let's set boundaries that protect our energy, that honor our worth, that prioritize our peace. Let's stop being afraid of disappointing others and start being afraid of disappointing ourselves. Because the greatest act of self-love is valuing yourself enough to protect your peace, to guard your energy, to set boundaries that serve your highest good. And never forget, you are worthy, you are valuable. You deserve to be treated with respect, kindness, and love. Now it's time to start believing it, living it, and demanding it from those around you. Part 4. Shifting the power dynamics. The art of being less available. Let's explore a game-changing concept, the art of being less available. This is where the true shift in power happens. You see, there's something captivating about mystery, about not always being accessible, about having a life that doesn't revolve around anyone else. When you stop being overly available, you naturally command respect and curiosity, and suddenly, the dynamics in your relationships begin to shift. Think about it. When you're always available, always saying yes, always there at a moment's notice, people start to take you for granted. They start to expect your presence instead of appreciating it. They assume you'll always be there, no matter how they treat you. But when you pull back, when you start being more selective with your time, you break that pattern. You disrupt their expectations. And that's when they start to realize your value. There's a reason why people are drawn to what they can't easily have. It's human nature to value things that are rare, that are not always within reach. So when you start becoming less available, when you start prioritizing yourself over pleasing others, you become that rare, valuable presence in their lives. You become someone they want to chase, someone they want to earn the attention of. But this isn't about playing games. It's about recognizing your worth and making sure others do too. Being less available doesn't mean you're being cold or distant. It means you're being intentional. It means you're choosing where to invest your energy, who to spend your time with, and what to give your attention to. It's about being more mindful of how you show up in relationships. It's about shifting the focus from them to you, from chasing validation to embracing your own worth. Let's face it, we live in a world that glorifies busyness, that celebrates those who are always on, always reachable, always available. But here's the truth. It's not your job to be available for everyone. It's not your responsibility to meet everyone's needs at the expense of your own. You have a right to prioritize yourself, to take time for yourself, to be less available if that's what you need to protect your peace. When you start being less available, you'll notice something interesting. The people who truly value you will make an effort to be in your life. They'll adjust their expectations. They'll step up. They'll respect your time and your boundaries. And those who are only there because of your constant availability, they'll slowly fade away. And that's okay. Let them go. Let them be replaced by people who appreciate you, who value your presence, who are willing to put in the effort to be in your life. Being less available is a power move. It's a way of reclaiming your energy, of taking back control over who gets to be in your life. It's about moving in silence, letting your absence create value, and letting your actions speak louder than words. And as you do this, you'll notice that the more you pull back, the more people will start to lean in. The more you prioritize yourself, the more they'll start to chase after you. But here's the key. You're not doing this to make them chase you. You're doing this for yourself. You're doing this to protect your peace, to prioritize your happiness, to reclaim your worth. Because at the end of the day, the only person who truly needs to value you is you. The only validation you need is your own. The only approval you should seek is from yourself. Let's make something clear. Being less available isn't about creating distance. It's about creating value. It's about making sure that when you give your time, your attention, your energy, it's truly appreciated. It's about showing up for yourself first, so you can show up as your best self for others. It's about taking a step back so you can move forward with clarity, with purpose, with intention. And as you practice being less available, you'll start to feel a shift within yourself. You'll start to feel more empowered, more in control, more at peace. You'll start to attract people who are genuinely interested in you, not just in what you can do for them. You'll start to build relationships that are based on mutual respect, not convenience. And that's when you'll realize the true power of detachment, the true power of valuing yourself. So today, let's take another step towards reclaiming our power. Let's embrace the art of being less available. Let's protect our time, our energy, our peace. Let's prioritize ourselves, not in a selfish way, but in a way that honors our worth, that values our presence, that commands respect. And let's remember, the right people will respect your boundaries. The right people will appreciate your presence. The right people will value you, even when you're not always available. And if they don't, if they fade away because you're not constantly there to cater to their needs, that's their loss, not yours. Because at the end of the day, you're not here to be everything for everyone. You're here to be everything for yourself. You're here to live your life on your terms, not theirs. So embrace your worth, embrace your power, embrace the art of being less available, and watch how the world starts to respect you more for it. Part 5. The magic of silence, letting your absence speak louder than words. Let's dive into something most people overlook, the magic of silence. We live in a world that constantly demands our attention, our words, our reactions. We're conditioned to believe that being vocal, being visible, being available is the way to gain respect and appreciation. But what if I told you that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to simply go silent? Silence is not just the absence of sound. It's a statement. It's a way of reclaiming your power, of shifting the dynamics in your favor. When you go silent, you're telling the world that you no longer need to explain yourself, justify your actions, or seek validation. You're telling them that you're confident in your worth, that you're focused on your journey, and that you're unbothered by the noise around you. Think about it. In a world full of noise, silence stands out. When you stop responding to every call, every message, every demand for your attention, you create a sense of mystery. You create a space where others have to wonder about you, think about you, and realize what it feels like not to have you around. And in that space, they begin to appreciate you more. They begin to value your presence. They start to see you as someone who is not always within reach, someone who cannot be taken for granted. There's a profound power in pulling back your energy, in becoming less accessible, in letting your silence speak for you. It's not about playing games or manipulating others. It's about protecting your peace, conserving your energy, and prioritizing yourself. It's about letting others know that your time, your presence, your attention are privileges, not rights. And when people realize that you are no longer readily available, they start to value you differently. They start to put in the effort to reach you, to connect with you, to be in your life. Silence is also a tool for self-reflection. It's a way to tune out the distractions, the opinions, the expectations of others, and to tune into yourself. It's a way to hear your own thoughts, to reconnect with your inner voice, to understand what you truly want without the noise of the outside world influencing you. It's in the silence that you discover your strength, your resilience, your clarity. It's in the silence that you find the courage to prioritize yourself, to set boundaries, to walk away from what no longer serves you. But here's the thing. Silence is not about ghosting people or cutting off connections abruptly. It's about choosing where to invest your energy. It's about deciding who deserves a response, who deserves your time, who deserves your presence. It's about being intentional with your words, your actions, your availability. It's about understanding that not every situation requires your reaction, that not every person deserves your attention, that not every moment needs to be filled with noise. The magic of silence is that it gives you back control. It allows you to observe rather than react, to reflect rather than respond, to choose rather than be chosen. And as you practice silence, you'll notice a shift in how people treat you. Those who truly value you will make the effort to reach out, to connect, to understand you. Those who were only interested in using you for their convenience will fade away. And that's a blessing in disguise. Let's make this clear. Your silence is not weakness, it's strength. It's a sign that you are no longer willing to be a puppet on someone else's strings, that you are no longer chasing after validation, that you are no longer begging for attention. It's a declaration that you are enough, just as you are, without having to constantly prove yourself to others. Think of it this way: your silence is your sanctuary. It's a space where you can recharge, regroup, and refocus. It's a space where you can let go of the need to be everything for everyone and just be. It's a space where you can rediscover your worth, your value, your power. And when you step back into the world from that space of silence, you do so with a renewed sense of clarity, confidence, and self-respect. So the next time you feel the urge to respond, to explain, to prove yourself, pause. Embrace the silence. Let it do the talking for you. Let it speak of your strength, your resilience, your self-worth. Let it remind others that you are not someone who can be easily accessed, easily influenced, or easily swayed. You are someone who knows their value, who protects their peace, who moves with purpose. Remember this: the people who are meant to be in your life will respect your silence. They will understand that your absence is not a sign of disinterest, but a sign of self-respect. They will appreciate the value of your presence even more when they realize that it's not something they can take for granted. And those who don't, let them go. Let your silence be the filter that separates those who deserve your energy from those who don't. Today, let's embrace the power of silence. Let's reclaim our energy, protect our peace, and remind the world that we are not here to be at their beck and call. We are here to live our lives on our terms, with dignity, with confidence, with self-respect. So let's move in silence, let our actions speak louder than words, and let our absence create the value that our presence deserves. Part 6. Detachment, reclaiming your peace and dignity. Let's talk about a concept that can truly transform your life: detachment. It's a principle that lies at the core of Stoic philosophy, and it's one of the most powerful tools you can use to reclaim your peace and dignity. Detachment is not about becoming cold or indifferent. It's not about shutting people out or refusing to care. Instead, it's about freeing yourself from the need for external validation, from the chains of attachment that hold you back, from the desire to control things that are beyond your control. When you practice detachment, you shift your focus from others to yourself. You stop looking for approval, for validation, for acceptance from people who may never give it to you. You stop tying your happiness, your self-worth, your sense of peace to how others treat you. Instead, you begin to find all of that within yourself. You become your own source of validation, your own source of happiness, your own source of strength. Detachment is about understanding that you are whole, complete, and worthy on your own. It's about recognizing that your value doesn't depend on whether someone else sees it, that your worth isn't defined by someone else's opinion, that your happiness isn't tied to someone else's presence. It's about breaking free from the need to be everything for everyone, to please everyone, to gain the approval of everyone. And when you do that, you reclaim your power. You take back control of your life. The truth is, many of us are held back by our attachments, whether it's to people, to outcomes, to expectations. We cling to relationships that no longer serve us because we're afraid of being alone. We chase after people who don't value us because we're desperate for their attention. We tie our self-worth to how others see us because we've been conditioned to believe that our value lies in their hands. But here's the reality. As long as you're attached, you're not free. As long as you're dependent on others for your sense of self, you're giving them the power to control you. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care about people or that you don't love them. It means you love yourself enough to let go of what's hurting you, to walk away from what's not serving you, to set boundaries that protect your peace. It's about being able to say, I care about you, but I care about myself more. It's about being able to walk away when you're not being treated with the respect you deserve. It's about knowing that your happiness doesn't depend on anyone else but yourself. When you practice detachment, you become more resilient, more grounded, more at peace. You stop being affected by the actions and opinions of others. You stop being controlled by your emotions, your fears, your insecurities. You become the master of your own mind, the captain of your own soul. And that's when you truly start to live life on your terms. Imagine a life where you are no longer tied down by the need for approval, where you are no longer chasing after people who don't appreciate you, where you are no longer sacrificing your peace for someone else's comfort. Imagine a life where you are free to be yourself, to live for yourself, to prioritize yourself. That's the power of detachment. Detachment doesn't mean you don't feel emotions. It means you don't let those emotions control you. It means you don't let them dictate your actions, your decisions, your sense of self. It's about being able to feel deeply without being consumed by those feelings. It's about being able to love without losing yourself in the process. It's about being able to care without compromising your own well-being. When you practice detachment, you become a force to be reckoned with. You become someone who is unshakable, unbreakable, unstoppable. You become someone who knows their worth, who stands firm in their values, who refuses to be controlled by anyone else. And that's when people start to respect you more. That's when they start to value your presence, to appreciate your boundaries, to understand that they can't take you for granted. Detachment is not about isolation. It's about liberation. It's about freeing yourself from the chains of dependency, from the shackles of insecurity, from the prison of people-pleasing. It's about finding the courage to stand on your own, to be your own person, to live life on your terms. And as you practice detachment, you'll notice a shift in your relationships. You'll start to attract people who value you, who respect you, who appreciate you for who you are, not for what you can do for them. So how do you practice detachment? Start by setting boundaries. Start by saying no to things that don't serve you, by walking away from situations that drain you, by letting go of people who don't value you. Start by focusing on your own growth, your own happiness, your own peace. Start by loving yourself enough to prioritize yourself. And remember, detachment is not a destination, it's a journey. It's a daily practice, a conscious choice, a commitment to yourself. Let's make a promise to ourselves today. Let's promise to practice detachment, to protect our peace, to prioritize our happiness. Let's promise to stop chasing after people who don't appreciate us, to stop tying our self-worth to someone else's opinion, to stop sacrificing our dignity for someone else's approval. Let's promise to reclaim our power, to take back control of our lives, to be the hero of our own story. Because at the end of the day, the only person who can truly give you the love, the respect, the validation you're looking for is you. The only person who can truly make you happy, truly make you feel worthy, truly make you feel whole is you. So let's embrace detachment, let's embrace our worth, let's embrace our power, and let's start living life on our terms, with peace, with dignity, with self-respect. Part 7. The power of boundaries, creating space for your own growth. Let's talk about one of the most important yet often overlooked aspects of reclaiming your power: boundaries. Boundaries are not walls that shut people out. They're gates that protect what matters most: your peace, your energy, your self-worth. They are an expression of self-respect, a declaration that you value yourself enough to protect your well-being. Setting boundaries is not selfish, it's essential. It's about drawing a line between what you will and won't accept, between what serves you and what drains you. Here's the truth. Without boundaries, you're giving people unlimited access to your time, your energy, your emotions. You become like an open book that anyone can read, mark, and discard at their convenience. And what does that lead to? Burnout, resentment, and a deep sense of feeling unappreciated. But when you set boundaries, you're telling the world that you value yourself. You're telling them that your energy is precious, that your time is valuable, that your peace is non-negotiable. Think of boundaries as the invisible armor that protects your inner world. It's the shield that keeps the negativity, the drama, the toxic influences at bay. Boundaries are not just about saying no to others. They're about saying yes to yourself. Yes to your peace. Yes to your growth. Yes to your happiness. They are a way of honoring your own needs, of taking care of your own mental and emotional well-being. But let's be real. Setting boundaries is not always easy. It can be uncomfortable, it can be challenging, it can be met with resistance. People are used to having unlimited access to you, to your kindness, to your availability. And when you start to set boundaries, it can disrupt the dynamic they've grown comfortable with. They might react, they might push back, they might try to guilt trip you into going back to your old ways. But that's okay. It's a sign that your boundaries are working. It's a sign that you're reclaiming your power. The beauty of boundaries is that they not only protect you but also teach others how to treat you. When you set a boundary, you're communicating that you deserve respect, that you deserve kindness, that you deserve to be treated with the same consideration you give to others. You're setting the standard for how you expect to be treated. And those who truly value you will respect your boundaries. They will understand that it's not about them. It's about you taking care of yourself. Boundaries are not just about relationships with others. They're also about the relationship you have with yourself. They're about setting limits on the negativity you allow into your life. The self-doubt you entertain, the unhealthy habits you indulge in. They're about saying no to the things that drain you and yes to the things that nurture you. They're about creating a life that aligns with your values, your goals, your happiness. When you start to set boundaries, you'll notice a shift in your life. You'll start to attract people who respect you, who value you, who uplift you. You'll start to feel more in control of your own life, more empowered to make choices that serve you. And yes, you might lose some people along the way, but that's okay. Let them go, because anyone who doesn't respect your boundaries doesn't deserve a place in your life. And as you let go of what no longer serves you, you create space for what truly does. Let's make this clear. Setting boundaries is not about being rude, distant, or selfish. It's about being clear, intentional, and self-loving. It's about having the courage to say, this is what I need, this is what I won't tolerate, this is how I choose to be treated. It's about standing firm in your worth, in your values, in your truth. It's about taking a stand for yourself, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's hard, even when others don't understand. So how do you start setting boundaries? Begin by identifying what drains you, what stresses you, what makes you feel unappreciated. Pay attention to how you feel around certain people, in certain situations, during certain conversations. Notice where you feel taken advantage of, where you feel disrespected, where you feel unfulfilled, and then take a stand. Speak up. Set limits. It might be as simple as saying, no, I can't do that, or I need some time for myself, or that doesn't work for me. Remember, boundaries are not about controlling others. They're about controlling yourself. They're about choosing how you respond, how you invest your energy, how you live your life. And as you set boundaries, as you protect your energy, you'll find that your relationships become more balanced, more fulfilling, more aligned with your values. You'll find that your life becomes a reflection of who you truly are. not what others expect you to be. Here's the reality. You are not here to please everyone, to be available for everyone, to be everything for everyone. You are here to live your truth, to honor your needs, to prioritize your well-being. So, let's make a promise to ourselves today. Let's promise to set boundaries, to protect our peace, to value our worth. Let's promise to stop sacrificing ourselves for the sake of others, to stop being overly available, to stop giving away our energy to those who don't deserve it. Because when you set boundaries, you're not just protecting yourself, you're empowering yourself. You're taking back control of your life, your happiness, your peace. You're choosing to be the hero of your own story, to live life on your terms, to be unapologetically you. So let's embrace the power of boundaries. Let's honor our worth. Let's reclaim our power. And let's start living a life that truly reflects who we are, with confidence, with dignity, with self-respect. Part 8. Embracing absence, the art of letting others earn your presence. Now let's dive into one of the most underappreciated, yet incredibly powerful strategies in reclaiming your self-worth. The power of absence. In a world where everyone is constantly available, where notifications flood our screens, where instant gratification is the norm, the art of being less available can be a game changer. It's about recognizing that your presence is a gift, not something to be taken for granted. It's about realizing that not everyone deserves constant access to you. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is to step back, create space, and let your absence speak louder than your words ever could. There's a certain allure, a magnetic force that comes with being less available. People are naturally drawn to what they can't easily have. The moment you stop being so accessible, so willing to please, so eager to respond, you change the dynamic, you shift the power back into your hands. When you're always available, people tend to take you for granted. But when you start to withdraw, when you start to focus on your own life, your own growth, your own happiness, people begin to realize what they're missing. Think about it. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, doesn't it? It's a simple yet profound truth. When you pull back, when you stop chasing, when you stop trying so hard, you give others the space to miss you, to appreciate you, to value your presence. You create a void that only your unique energy can fill. And in that absence, they start to realize just how important you are. They start to understand that your presence is not a given. It's a privilege. But here's the thing. The goal isn't to manipulate others into wanting you. The goal is to reclaim your energy, to focus on your own well-being, to put yourself first. It's about practicing self-care, self-love, self-respect. It's about choosing to be more intentional with your time, your energy, your presence. It's about understanding that you don't have to be available to everyone all the time just to feel worthy or valued. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely. Being alone is a choice, a powerful act of self-love. It's about choosing to spend time with yourself, to nurture your own soul, to invest in your own growth. It's about taking a step back from the chaos of the world, to find peace, to reflect, to recharge. Loneliness, on the other hand, is the absence of self-love. It's the feeling of being disconnected from yourself, of seeking validation from others because you're not giving it to yourself. When you embrace the power of absence, you're choosing to be alone but not lonely. You're choosing to be intentional with your energy, to be selective with who gets access to you, to be mindful of how you invest your time. You're choosing to let your absence create value. And as you do this, you'll start to notice a shift. People will begin to reach out, to check in, to seek your presence. Not because you're chasing them, but because they're drawn to the mystery, the allure, the strength of your independence. It's about knowing that you don't need to be constantly connected to be valued. You don't need to be constantly available to be loved. You don't need to be constantly giving to be appreciated. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to pull back, to go silent, to focus on your own journey. And in that silence, you find your strength. In that absence, you find your worth. In that space, you find your peace. Understand this, you're not a backup plan, a convenience, a filler for someone else's emptiness. You're not here to be at someone else's beck and call, to be their last-minute option, to be taken for granted. You are here to live your life fully, unapologetically, intentionally. You're here to prioritize your happiness, your dreams, your peace. And sometimes that means stepping back, going silent, and letting others earn their place in your life. Absence is not about playing games or manipulating others. It's about honoring yourself enough to pull back when you're not being valued. It's about recognizing your worth, reclaiming your power, and letting your actions speak for themselves. It's about moving in silence, letting your growth do the talking, letting your peace be your response. So, how can you embrace the power of absence in your life? Start by setting boundaries on your availability. Stop saying yes to every request, every demand, every invitation. Start choosing yourself more often. Start valuing your time, your energy, your peace. Create moments of solitude where you can reconnect with yourself, recharge your spirit, refocus your mind. Remember, it's not about cutting people off. It's about cutting off what drains you. It's about creating space for what truly nourishes you, what truly aligns with you, what truly supports you. And as you do this, you'll notice a shift in the way people treat you. They'll start to respect your boundaries, to value your presence, to appreciate your energy, because they'll realize that your presence is a choice, not a given. And that's when you truly start to reclaim your power. Let's make a promise to ourselves today, to embrace the power of absence, to protect our peace, to prioritize our self-worth. Let's promise to stop being overly available, to stop chasing after people who don't appreciate us, to stop sacrificing our happiness for the sake of others. Let's promise to reclaim our time, our energy, our lives, because you deserve to be valued, respected, appreciated. You deserve to live a life that aligns with your worth, with your values, with your truth. So take a step back, go silent, focus on yourself, and let your absence create value, because the most powerful thing you can do is to reclaim your power, to live life on your terms, and to let others earn the privilege of your presence. Part 9, becoming the hero of your own story, living with confidence and self-worth. We've come this far, and now it's time to embrace the ultimate truth. You are the hero of your own story. It's time to stop living in the shadows, stop playing small, stop settling for less than you deserve. The world needs the fullest expression of who you are, your talents, your strength, your passion. But for you to step into that power, you must first believe that you are worthy. You must believe that you are enough, exactly as you are, without anyone else's approval or validation. Here's the reality. Life is too short to be spent waiting on others to recognize your value, too short to be chasing after people who don't see your worth, to be seeking love in places where it isn't given freely. You have to be the one to see your own value, to claim your own worth, to own your own story. Because the moment you do, everything changes. The moment you decide that you are enough, the whole world begins to treat you differently. You become a magnet for people who respect you, who uplift you, who see your light. You start to attract opportunities that align with your higher self. You begin to live life with a sense of purpose, with a sense of clarity, with a sense of confidence that is unshakable. That's the power of self-worth. That's the power of becoming the hero of your own story. But how do you become the hero? How do you step into that role with confidence and courage? It starts with one simple decision: to prioritize yourself, to invest in your own growth, your own happiness, your own dreams, to stop putting others on a pedestal and start recognizing your own greatness. It's about choosing yourself every single day, no matter what. This journey is not about perfection. It's not about having it all figured out. It's about progress. It's about becoming a little better each day, a little stronger, a little wiser. It's about learning to trust yourself, to believe in yourself, to love yourself. It's about embracing your flaws, your scars, your imperfections, and understanding that they are part of what makes you uniquely beautiful. Imagine waking up every morning with a sense of purpose, a sense of peace, a sense of excitement for what the day holds. Imagine feeling confident in your own skin, knowing that you are enough just as you are. Imagine walking through life with your head held high, your heart open, your spirit unbreakable. That's what it means to become the hero of your own story. That's what it means to reclaim your power. You see, the hero's journey is not about avoiding pain or struggle. It's about facing it head on, with courage, with resilience, with the unshakable belief that you will overcome. It's about understanding that every challenge, every setback, every disappointment is a part of your growth, a part of your evolution, a part of your journey towards becoming the best version of yourself. And here's the thing, you don't have to wait for anyone's permission to be the hero. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment, the perfect circumstances, the perfect support. You can decide right here, right now, that you are worthy, that you are enough, that you are capable of creating a life that reflects your dreams. You have the power to rewrite your story, to change the narrative, to step into the life you've always imagined. Let go of the need for external validation. Let go of the fear of rejection, the fear of failure, the fear of not being enough, because you are enough. You are powerful, you are capable, and the only person who needs to believe that is you. The moment you embrace that truth, you unlock a level of freedom, a level of confidence, a level of joy that is unmatched. So, what does it mean to live as the hero of your own story? It means taking risks. It means facing your fears. It means stepping outside of your comfort zone. It means living authentically, unapologetically, with courage and conviction. It means being true to yourself, no matter what. It means standing tall in your truth, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable, even when others don't understand. It's about living a life that aligns with your values, with your passions, with your purpose. It's about surrounding yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you, who support you. It's about letting go of anything and anyone that doesn't serve your highest good. It's about choosing joy, choosing peace, choosing love every single day. And most importantly, it's about understanding that you are not here to live life passively. You are not here to settle, to shrink, to play it safe. You are here to create, to inspire, to make a difference. You are here to live boldly, to love deeply, to shine brightly. You are here to be the hero of your own story, to live a life that you are proud of, a life that you love. So take a deep breath, close your eyes, and make a promise to yourself, a promise to prioritize your worth, to honor your boundaries, to protect your peace. A promise to stop chasing after people who don't value you, to stop settling for less than you deserve, to stop doubting your greatness. A promise to be the hero of your own story, to live life on your terms, to be unapologetically you. Because the truth is, you are capable of incredible things. You are capable of creating a life that is beautiful, that is meaningful, that is fulfilling. You are capable of being the hero of your own story, of reclaiming your power, of living a life that is truly your own. So let's step into that power. Let's embrace our worth. Let's become the heroes we were always meant to be, and let's start living a life that reflects the greatness within us.